everyone, Taylor Parnell here, and today's video is going to be recognizing when your dog is confused from a static stimulation. So if you're excited for today's video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel down below, and all those bell notifications are turned on so that you never miss a new video from us. Let's get into today's video. So it's very important while you're using the knee collar is to understand what your dog is understanding what you're asking, or maybe your dog is a little bit confused. So it's really important to realize that it's your job to pay more attention to how your dog reacts when you're asking a command, when you're using the enforcement of the e-collar to be a tool. It's something that, again, you guys, I'm going to give you a few tips to be able to recognize when your dog might be confused. And this is simply just something that you should pay attention to, because if your dog is confused, it maybe not understand exactly what you're asking, or maybe you need to go a few more steps back to make sure that they're really understanding the command in general. So let's go get into a few tips to help you guys really make sure that your dog understands what you're asking, and not only that, but to understand when your dog is confused. So there's a few cues that your dog might give you when you're asking something from them and that may not really understand. Maybe they're gonna yawn, maybe they're gonna glare at you and move away, maybe they're going to be scratching at the collar, maybe they're going to be sitting or just laying down unexpectedly. You know, these kind of things are really gonna give you an understanding that your dog is maybe not understanding what you're asking, and that's when you're gonna take a few steps back to really reconnect with them what you want, and then to push forward with the challenging part. Just to give you guys a great example, let's say you ask your dog to sit and your dog doesn't listen to you. Maybe your dog is already off leash and you are using the e-collar. Instead of using that static stimulation or the vibrate to be able to say that's not what I'm asking and to correct them, they might get confused at that point and just not understand what you're asking. So the best advice I could give to you guys is to put the leash back on your dog. Start from square one. Ask your dog to sit. If you're gonna need that reinforcement to be able to pull on your dog's neck to say, this is what I'm asking, here, sit, and then connect it with that verbal command and the praise, of course. Then let's say that you actually use that and your dog is understanding better. Practice this a few times, because remember, this is a skill. It's not something that's going to pop out and all make sense at once. You want to start from those basics. Ask your dog. Once your dog sees that they're, understanding what you're asking, no problem. Have the comfortability after you seeing that to take the dog off the leash and try again, because I really want you guys to understand that this is not only a learning experience for yourself, but for your dog too. Once your dog knows that that static or vibration is something that is not what you're asking and is not a good behavior, once they connect that, they're going to better understand what you're asking from them. And then as you start to use the tool more and more, they're going to be able to make sense of them both. Another thing I want you guys to remember is when you're training at home, it's very easy for your dog to understand what you're asking. But sometimes when you're going to be in a high stimulated environment, maybe new smells, new experiences, new things going on, your dog might react completely different. That's okay. Don't get frustrated. It's not your dog's fault. Every dog is different. But in those moments, I just want you guys to really remember that your environment really plays a big role in how your dog reacts to things. And that's something that I think you guys will learn through experience. When you start to train at home with your dog, that's wonderful. But when you're going to be stepping out of the comfort zone and building a bigger environment, that's something that you're going to learn with your dog and to be able to train. And as your dog is challenged more and more, you're going to see that your dog will respond better and to really get what you're asking. And these tools are really going to help kick your dog out of that natural instinct to be able to smell, run around, chase things, because you're going to have that reinforcement tool at any distance to tell your dog that this is what you're asking. Last thing that I wanted to discuss with you guys is that, even veterinarians and high, performing trainers have said that dogs, when they go into a new environment, their cortisol levels actually rise, which means that their natural instincts are going to be there more prominent than they usually would. So I want you guys to remember just to take some few steps back and just remember that dogs are, a nature's animal. That's something that we're learning to not only better have our relationship together, but to communicate properly and understand what we're asking from another. So I just want you guys to have those extra patience and understanding that everything is okay if it's not working exactly how you want it to be. Just remember, through patience, experience, and repetition, it will really pay off in the long run for you guys. So I just want you to make sure that you understand that, dogs are really a great way to be able to have fun and to loosen up and to really enjoy and experience the world together. So again, you guys, if your dog gets distracted or confused from a static stimulation, that's okay. It just means to take a few steps back, reconvene what's going on, apply those commands and those things that you learn, and start making those smaller steps forward. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this gives you guys a better understanding as to why your dogs may be confused. And again, if you guys have any questions or need any help, we are here to serve you. We appreciate this community so much, and we can't wait to have more people enjoy our Collar 2 and our other products as well. So thank you again for tuning in for today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. It will mean so much to us, and we'll see you all on the very next video. Bye, everybody.